it's okay to go like with a 275 cable, 75 pound cable. Me, myself, I fish with 200-pound monofilament, and I use Iserline because it's so, when it says it's 200, it's probably closer to 230, and it's like steel. It's so abrasive resistant, I can't tell you, but it's an old company, and you know, everybody's going with the new stuff these days, and good for them, but that Iserline first string is bulletproof. It's great stuff.
So you use 200 for all the time, or only for if you think there's big fish?
Well, the bigger the lure, the less chance that wahoo has to bite at the front of that lure. 99% of my fish have been caught by both hooks in the back of that lure. They bite to kill it and to cut it in half, and then they circle around. But with a lure, obviously, it's different because it has wire in it. So you definitely want to have a heavy line, being 275 cable or 200, 150, 200 monofilament. Very stiff, durable line. Did I answer your question?
So if I'm going to use the smaller nomads,
you can go with
90 or
90, 175, yeah.
But you never know if you're going to get a big one.
Right, but you're fishing lighter drag also.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the lighter the line, or the lighter the cable, the lighter the line. Let's talk about that for a second. 80-pound monofilament. We use about a 40 to 50-foot leader. The reason we do that is because braid doesn't stretch. So when braid doesn't stretch, yeah, your hookup ratio may be better, but when you have stretch, sometimes you don't break braid. Like if you have that stretch in the monofilament on top of your braid as a top shot, then you've got stretch. Does that make sense? So
if I'm going to use the big nomad, you would use 200 monofilament. You would not use cable.
Personally, no, because it goes back to what I first said, is that lure is so large, there's hardly a chance that they are going to get to bite the front of that lure. Very rarely do you see big teeth marks in the front of that lure. They're going after the middle to cut it in half. So yeah, I use monofilament, hard monofilament or fluorocarbon. And when you get into the smaller, like Halcos and smaller nomads, yeah, you got to use cable because you don't want to take a chance of that fish hitting and catching the wire.
So the 90-pound wire cable is okay for like a 190 Halco?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you put any heavier on there, you can call the company, but if you put any heavier on there, it doesn't want to, the action's not as lively. It's like putting big, huge hooks on them. You want to put small hooks. That's why they use treble, because they're a real balanced hook. And so it's all a balancing act between your main line to your leader, or to your top shot, to your leader, and to your cable or monofilament. It's all about what lure you're using, what target size fish you're targeting, and whether they're toothy or not. And wahoo have the sharpest teeth. If you saw the inside of a wahoo's mouth, in fact, I have one over there in the house. They have a very small mouth, but hundreds of teeth, and they're razor sharp. I've seen them fray cable, but I've never seen them break it. But I've seen them fray it where they go down it when they're trying to hit a fish.
And why do you like the multi-strand cable versus
You got
single?
a better chance of saving 2 or 3 strands and getting that fish to the boat. It's simple as that. I mean, single strand is strong, but it kinks, and wahoo, if they hit it, they're going to kink it all up, and you're fishing with that leader's done. So now we have the time element of changing the leader out versus bringing it in. Now, sure, if they fray multi-strand, you got to change it anyway, but that's very rare. But if a wahoo does hit a single strand, They probably won't break it, but they'll ding it so bad you'll never be able to use that again. So it's all about the timing. Again, you only have a certain amount of time in Wahoo. Everybody says, they were biting all day. Well, they may have been, but that's very, very rare.